Are you recording?
Yes.
Are you recording?
Yes.
Okay, good. Come in a little closer. So we have a situation here, and this problem with this room is these are not light switches, they are breaker switches. Come in closer, Leo, and show everybody. They look like a light switch, but if I trip this down, it's going to kill the power to all the computers in the room. So we have like a trigger guard here that's kind of a modified mechanism, but it's really not ideal because people can still get their fingers in. Come close. They can still get their finger in here and shut it off. Very bad. So what I've challenged you to do is to design a solution to this. And in order to do that, okay, back up just a little bit. We have to get some real specifics on the problem. One of the specifics is, how would we fasten this, our solution, in here? We've already got built-in screws, that's the great part. But we have to take some measurements in order to determine exactly where those screw holes would be. Welcome Hackenmuller. He's immortalized. So come in close. Our traditional option, kids, would be this right here, the ruler. So we could take the ruler and we could try and measure between the centers of the screws. But let me show you a little trick, move in even closer. We can measure from outside edge to outside edge. And does anybody, what would you take a guess at the distance between outside edge to outside edges? Yeah, what do you guess? Yeah. 2 inches looks close. I'd actually go 1 7/8 inches. I would say that's closer. If we look from the end of the ruler to right there is 1 7/8 inches. You got it pretty good on camera? Oh, there's a glare. Okay, there, really close. Super close. Now let me show you an even better tool, and this is new to you. This is called the digital calipers, okay? We're gonna turn it on, and this caliper measures in hundredths of an inch in decimals. So just like TinkerCAD, 0 is 0, we know that, and 1 inch looks like this. We can go out to 0.99, that's 1.0 inch. We put it up against here and we see that it's basically the same, okay? What we would do is we would measure between our edges from outside edge, slide the carriage to outside edge, and we get a really close or exact measurement, 1.83. And that would be the same as between centers. We always measure on centers. So horizontally, 1.83 between our screw holes, and vertically, we could use these jaws here and go edge to edge, 2.28. Now, did anybody write that down? 1.83, write that one down. That's the horizontal distance. And 2.28 is the vertical distance. So we've got two critical measurements or distances between. The last things we would need to know is how big to make the holes or the openings. Do we want to make them as big as the screw heads?
Yes.
Do you want to make them the same size as the screw heads? What would happen if we make them the same size? Yeah. You could use the same screws, yeah, but if I make them the same size as the screw head, it's just going to fall through, right? So I'm going to measure the screw head, but I'm going to make it a little smaller. Come in close, Leo. The screw heads are 0.26. Can somebody write that down? What is that really close to that is a common fractional size? Can anybody guess? Oh, that's a good guess. What do you think up there? Yes, 0.25 is 1/4 of an inch, or 0.250. So they're probably actually 1/4 inch. We'd want to make our holes just a little bit smaller so the screws don't fall through. Can anybody see any other measurements that we'd want to have here that would be critical? Yeah, what do you think? This stuff right here, like how wide? So you can't put your finger inside. I'm thinking, now this is up to you, but my design would involve getting rid of this stirrup altogether, just taking it off and making a complete cover that goes over the top. You could design something in addition to the stirrup, but why don't we just take the stirrups, throw them out because they don't work, and make a cover that's completely solid. Could be rounded, could be a square. We could make an entire plate cover, but I don't think we need to. I think we can just replace these stirrups. So the other thing would be, look at the side, Leo, from over here. Come at me from this way. Come at me, Leo. There you go. Can you see this? Yeah, on the screen, everybody can see this. A little bit of delays going on. We need to know the distance out from the wall out to cover that switch, or how deep the cover needs to be. So we could go like this, and what do you see?
A ruler.
Yeah, how much? 1 inch would be a safe number, right? Let me show you on here as well. This thing can do a plunge depth. It's going to be upside down, but it can. This tongue right here can measure in a depth, and it can give us basically the same number. What do we got? Hard to see. Okay, 0.875 is 7/8. So this is saying 7/8, but I'd go 1 inch to be safe. So we've got that measurement as well, and our distance. How about our distance between the top and bottom of the switch? That 1 inch was easy, but this is the last one right here. Top to bottom of the switch. Yeah, 1.5 inches would be safe for our gap. Okay. One more measurement over here, but let's get closer, everybody else. Oh, I left my phone there. We'll do it right here. Everybody watch on screen. Come in here. So let's say you want to take on the phone holder project. Okay, so ideal phone holder, look at the phone right now. Angle would be something like this, right? So it would naturally hold it at an angle. That would be good. Or maybe sideways at an angle. Or maybe it could do both. But one of the critical measurements that students have to make is the thickness of the phone. And measuring phone thickness with a ruler is kind of hard to judge. So let me get this lined up on the screen. I could go like this and try and guess a thickness, but it's difficult. So again, I can use this calipers, and I can measure the thickness, 0.54, 0.47. So just under, what would that be, just be under? Yes, just under a 1/2 inch. 0.50 would be a half. I'd probably want to give like another 1/4 inch for what's called clearance. So a 1/4 inch of clearance would be 0.75. That's generous, that's a lot. Let me line this up. But that is called clearance, allowing enough room for the phone to move. So if I have a stand like this, the phone can sit in it and lean back. Let's get this lined up. There we go, right there. Okay, that would be a 1/4 inch of gap in there. Or maybe I just want to make it angled to start. And that's where your design ideas come in, okay? Okay, we'll call that good for now.